Hey everyone, this is Uri Peleg for Guerrilla Poker, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a really fun hand that happened in a poker tournament in Spain. Turns out you can use PioSOLVER to analyze a hand and then you get some really wacky, really interesting results. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So I'm going to be doing commentary because the video's in Spanish. Under the gun gets ace deuce of hearts, makes a face and folds, then we get ace jack of clubs. For Vicente, he opens to 300, blinds are 5100, and we're seeing some folds, people are folding. Vicente turns up his cards, ready to scoop the pot, and then, he holds his face in his hand, says, oh my god, why? Because turns out the big blind's still in the hand, he hasn't folded yet. Alfredo in the big blind has pocket nines, he decides to call. We're going to see a flop, and hopefully you guys are seeing why this hand is going to be kind of crazy, because Alfredo knows Vicente's cards, and they're going to play post-flop now. Jack 9 deuce board, crazy action. Nines flops a set, ace jack has top pair, top kicker. Suddenly the guy with 9 starting to look a lot more comfortable. He donk bets for 200, pot was 650, so around 1/3 pot. Vicente quickly raises to 600. Alfredo with pocket nines, who knows he has the nuts, obviously, makes a tiny raise to 1200. And Vicente smiles and calls. So I made a PioSOLVER sim for this. One of the questions was which range Alfredo would flat out of position, given that he knows Vicente's cards. I decided to just leave the range more or less normal. I think it's not super important, but it does pose an interesting etiquette question, because probably you win money with any 2 cards, but would you feel comfortable calling with deuce 3 offsuit? Flopping a deuce, he has ace high and just starting to make huge overbets or whatever. So yeah, just put kind of a normal range for Alfredo, and Vicente's range is going to be ace jack of clubs. First thing is there's almost no donk betting, almost completely checking. Because ace jack of clubs smashes this board so much, and we do want to realize the equity of our draws a little bit, a hand like pocket nines is checking like it usually does to kind of babysit our weaker hands. Out of position should check. In position bets sometimes 75%, sometimes 3x pot, sometimes even open shoving a tiny amount of the time. Pocket nines would be check raising, so we never really get to the donk bet node or the bet 3 bet node. But an interesting thing for you guys to see, if I were to put a random turn out of position checks, you'll see ace jack betting again every single time, like 100% of the time betting, which I think is surprising. It's a lot to bet, and when we bet, the out of position player responds by almost exclusively raise or fold. So I tried to think about why, and then it dawned on me that I'd forgotten to put in donk betting on the river, which I never do in sims because nobody ever does that. But here it's really necessary, because the out of position player knows your cards. The ace jack player will never bet rivers, so donk betting on the river is going to happen a lot, and that's going to affect the turn strategy. So all this raising is just because you can't donk bet the river, and if you could, you'd probably call a lot and then donk bet, when you see the river. So this is a new sim. Out of position can donk bet whenever he wants, however he wants. Once we let the out of position player donk bet, ace jack would prefer to bet 3x pot or even open shove. Ace jack is a strong enough hand versus a wide range where even if the other guy only calls you with hands that are plus EV to call, the highest EV option apparently is just to end the hand as soon as possible. So nothing at all like what happened in this hand. We could follow the PioSim to get to this exact game tree, but really nines shouldn't donk. Once nines does donk, ace jack raising is fine, nines 3 betting is fine, like the rest of the flop action is fine. Just to show you guys beyond the donk bet that shouldn't happen, ace jack would raise, obviously bigger, and then nines can 3 bet, and ace jack would mostly call. Other than the donk bet being a bit weird, these guys played the hand okay. So Jack of Hearts turn. Funny turn for Vicente. You guys can see he's getting a kick out of this. It's a weird spot to improve the trips and know that it doesn't really change much. Alfredo keeps betting and Vicente takes a deep breath. He realizes despite having trips top kicker, maybe he's not good, and you can see he's saying like, oh, pocket nines, but he realizes the hands he's beat by, and it's still a tough fold to make for sure. Decides to call. We see a river deuce, so now he beats pocket nines, but pocket nines goes to 0%. Here Alfredo should still sometimes have like jack 9 or deuces and keep betting those with some bluffs, but mostly give up bluffs. So he decides to check with nines. Vicente, like we said in Pio, should always check back. Your cards are on the table, you're never getting called by worse. But he still decides to bet 1k, which, like I said, doesn't really help you unless the other guy misreads his hand. And Alfredo moves all in. And you guys can see Vicente, it's dawning on him that he probably shouldn't have bet, and he's like, what do you have, deuces, or what's going on here? Obviously he's gonna call with his full house. Alfredo was not trying to pull some GTO bluff, he just misread his hand, and he's pretty shocked to not see the pot chipped his way. So, fun hand. What did we learn in this video? If there's one thing you guys take away from this video, I want it to be this: that when you're playing a hand of poker, for the love of God, do not turn up your cards. Don't turn up your cards. Now, if you can take that piece of advice and apply it at the tables, I guarantee your win rate will shoot up and you'll have me to thank for it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you next time.